Hello everyone, this is Anthony Austin from the Media Law and Ethics class, and I'm going to talk with you today about the legalities involved in covering someone else's music. Today is without a doubt that one of the many controversies in the music industry is giving and receiving access to copyrighted music. And because of illegal usage of a musical piece, companies or individuals involved in any aspect of music have had to reap some sort of consequences of facing legal actions, whether they appeared in court or settled out of court. Whatever the situation, there was some form of litigation that took place as a result of illegal usage of music. To give you a few facts on copyrighted music, copyright has existed in the United States since the nation's birth and in England since the beginning of the 18th century. And as technology began to evolve and expand throughout the course of time, copyrighted material began to advance also. Before that time, receiving copyright access was not granted. Since popular music was spread mostly by word of mouth and traveling minstrels in the mid to late 1800s, copyright protection was largely ignored. And as a result of people's music being overlooked, an organization called the American Society of Composers, Authors, and Publishers, also known as ASCAP, came into existence. It was recognized as a U.S. performing rights organization and was established to help rectify poor recognition of international copyright protection and the 1999 Copyright Act. And it wasn't until the year of 1976 that major changes in copyright began to transpire. Among these changes were two major changes, which were extension of copyright life to the life of the author plus 50 years, and the infamous fair use and first sale doctrines. When reading copyright laws for music, we discovered that those laws are the same as those that apply to books, videos, photographs, and any other written material. To get access to copyrighted material, you should first contact the individual or group that controls the rights to the materials. Then you negotiate an agreement that specifies the rights that you will receive to use the materials and the compensation that the copyright owner will receive for granting those rights. And also, the recording rights are usually controlled by at least two parties. That's the music publisher or the songwriter that owns the copyright to the song, and the record company that distributes the sound recording. So when seeking permission from those who holds the cards to a song, one must be mindful of what goes into creating a song. There's the one who writes the song, then there's the producer who puts the music to the song, then there's the vocalist who gives life to the song. So with that being said, the individual seeking permission to any song will want to consult with those who are credited for creating the song, as well as those who controls the copyright and those who have ownership rights. Now I would like to give you a brief overview of a couple of cases that have taken place as a result of copyright infringement or illegal use of copyrighted music. Chess Records, along with Willie Dixon, sued Led Zeppelin for plagiarism. The case stems from their song entitled "Whole Lotta Love" from Zeppelin's album Led Zeppelin II. In 1985, it was reported that Willie Dixon sued Led Zeppelin, claiming that "Whole Lotta Love" was largely plagiarized from a song called "You Need Love," written by Dixon and recorded by Muddy Waters as a single for Chess Records in 1962. After Zeppelin's lawyer suggested that it's strange that someone would wait all that time to file a suit, the end result of the case was that it was settled out of court, and recent Led Zeppelin releases have given songwriting credit for "A Whole Lotta Love" to Willie Dixon, along with all four members of Led Zeppelin. Another case, which was one of the most recent cases, is between hip-hop artist Kanye West and upcoming artist Vincent Peters. You may remember Kanye West, the hip-hop artist known for his first single, which topped the charts, known as "Jesus Walks." Well, in this case, it's from a song written by Peters entitled "Stronger." Hoping to start a relationship with John Monopoly, who was Kanye West's producer and friend, Peters, whose stage name is Vince P., he meets with Monopoly to work on some of his music tracks. And "Stronger" was one of the tracks on the meeting's agenda. Although Monopoly agreed to be Vince P's producer, the record label deal fell through and Vince P's album was never distributed. In a year's time, Kanye West released his track with the same title. Following its release, it became a huge international hit. After comparing the two songs, Vince P filed a suit against West for copyright infringement. Due to inadequate evidence, the case had been dismissed. However, Vince P appealed it to the 7th Circuit Court. Once again, due to inadequate evidence, the case was ruled out. And another copyright music issue is that with online music delivery. And one of those issues in this area is Napster. Whoever listens to music online knows that Napster is a very common and familiar website, which many browsers can access music. The site has created some legal controversy within the music industry, and the federal courts have ruled that its operation violates the copyright interests of the music industry in performing artists whose songs were being freely exchanged. And as a result of these issues, the need for music licenses has become more of a demand than ever. If we were honest about it, when it comes to downloading music of any kind, it becomes easier and easier to access that music without even going through any copyright protocol, so to speak, or without getting any copyright permission. However, regardless of how we're able to access any type of material online, whether it's music or any type of literary work, it's still important to research the copyright owner's information or the owner's information. Now, granted that you may know the owner personally or have some type of relationship with the owner, there's still copyright restrictions on that owner's piece of work. Now, if you were to go to the owner rather than a copyright owner, there still should be some type of contract that you should be required to sign in order to save yourself any legal issues in the future. Romans 12:18 tells us that if it be possible, as much as lieth in you, to live peaceably with all men. So when we are considering an issue such as copyright restrictions or getting access to any copyrighted work, we want to consider this scripture in order to live peaceably with the owners of that work, as well as the copyright owners of that work, or anyone who is affiliated within those parameters of that piece of work. Thank you.